He was the Metropolitan Police officer who was deep undercover for 7 years, infiltrating several environmental groups, cultivating intimate relationships with multiple women, fathering children with others. Now it's behavior like that of Mark Kennedy that has Mina Kai, a UN Special Rapporteur, wants to see examined. Jenny Jones, who's a Green Party member of the London Assembly, strongly disagrees with the use of undercovers in these circumstances.
I think it's absolutely and completely wrong to infiltrate a protest group by using sex as a sort of tool, as a Metropolitan Police tactic. I think it's completely wrong. And it seems to me that the Met has lost sight of what it's actually doing with groups, with protest groups, with environmental groups. They are actually treating them like criminal gangs. And to me, that's absolutely ludicrous.
The authorities argue that the use of undercover operatives is a vital weapon in the fight against domestic terrorism. But a crucial question remains. Despite the secrecy, the vast expense and the controversy, just where are the results that stand this up as a useful tactic? So far, the use of operatives to infiltrate protest groups has not publicly yielded any significant information that would justify their use. Andy Meinke, who saw groups he was a member of infiltrated by officers, including Kennedy, says the cost to those left behind is a terrible one.
For a lot of us who had been relatively close friends, and even more so for those people who'd had relationships with them, it was absolutely devastating, and it destroyed a lot of people's trust in each other. It made everything extremely difficult and nervous, and it also did a lot of harm to those protest movements.
There's growing anger that the cases of the women affected in the Kennedy undercover sting will now be largely heard in secret. The Metropolitan Police normally conducts internal inquiries into its own affairs and would not provide additional details, though it's thought at least 15 officers are involved.
Theresa May has lost sight of the fact that we need to know what the Met are doing. It is absolutely wrong to use innocent people as a tool in finding out information, and that's what these officers have been doing. So we need a public inquiry as soon as possible.
Most of the violence that occurred in any of the protests that I have been involved in has come directly from the police itself, and you can see that in the horrific things like the death of Ian Tomlinson or Alfie Meadow. It shows that there is a double standard.
The calls for greater transparency and ultimately public inquiries will only become louder the longer undercover officers are used to infiltrate groups at great expense and with no obvious gain. Amina Taylor, Press TV, London.